Fighting games are not getting a sequel for several more years.
Probably. Fighting games as a whole aren't getting sequels. Oh no, quitting, or yeah, oh no, quote unquote, quitting has caused
Yeah.
fighting games as a whole to just stop. Strive is a lie made by Arxis.
Yeah. Well, Stripe's still not coming out for another year.
For a couple of months.
Yeah, I guess it's probably close to that, ain't it?
I mean, they said early 2021, so depending on whether or not they use the Bandai Namco definition of early 2021, then it could come in the first 3 months or the first 6 months. But yeah,
Well, I guess we should be happy we're getting sequels at all.
yeah.
Even if KO15 is in the same territory as Shin Megami Tensei 5 or Persona, no, not yes, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Okay,
Yes, Persona 5 is
Persona
ever coming out.
Persona 5. Ah, when will we get to finally see it? Well, Persona 5 Arena is going to take a fucking while too. So hey,
Persona 5 Arena is never not only is it never coming out, it's never going to be planned. That's the big difference here.
Oh man. Well, maybe we should actually talk about the game itself.
Nah, that's not the reason why we made this podcast.
Ha! This podcast is exclusively for us to bitch about what's going on in video fighting games now.
Yeah. I mean, at one point it will devolve into doing just that because we've just run out of games.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of fighting games. We haven't even dipped into the fighting games that we fucking hate yet, like the trash games.
I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, you also have to consider like how because the chance that I can like freaking get a copy of that to Assassins.
Yeah.
Like,
how accurately can we emulate it in Mugen?
Yeah.
Oh god, if we just stick with Mugen, we'll have infinite possibilities. Fuck. This will eventually become the Mugen podcast.
I suppose so.
Yeah. Okay. So, KOF 14, when did KOF... Hang on, let me actually look up what years these games came out, because how much time was there between 14 and 13?
A couple of years. I think there was like 4 or 5.
There's some serious doubt there, because 13 was pretty much supposed to be the swan song for SNK. And then, who was it that bought them? Sega? Atlas? Atlas, yes, Atlas. Okay. 14 was... KOF 14 came out in 2016. Oh god, I thought this game came out more recently than that.
I thought this game came out in 2014, so...
And KOF 13 came out in 2010.
So I was right, there was like 5 years. Well, it was actually 6, but you know.
There's no rush to fucking KOF 15 now, is there? Jesus.
Nope.
Especially considering they probably want to work more on the actual graphics this time, so that we don't have to deal with people bitching about the graphics again.
That or they will change out every character's model, so they all have Haomaru's nose.
I mean, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Haomaru looks freaking like Haomaru's nose specifically is way too big. I'm not sure if that's the way he was designed in the old games as well, and they just couldn't draw it, or if that's just a new thing that his nose is freaking big enough to hit people on the other side of the screen.
It extends his range.
Yeah. That's he has a normal where his nose extends like Dawson's arms.
Okay, I couldn't remember whether or not Hamaru's nose was actually that big. It's about Triple H size.
Yeah, so pretty big.
Pretty big, but not the full bore clown shoes I was expecting.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, go ahead.
It looks about the same as it used to. I think Hamaru's just always kind of had Triple H nose.
I don't know because I don't remember a lot of like actual artistic renditions, and in the games they didn't have the power to render Haomaru's nose. So
Hang on, let me get a fucking. Okay, let me throw it up in the text. These pictures of Hamaru and his nose. All right, there's modern 3D Hamaru. And let's find an old art piece of Hamaru.
but look at the in-game picture because the actual like artistic renditions are usually fine with his nose size. It's in the game that I find that his nose is a bit too big.
And here's a comparison of his sprite versus how he looks in game. I actually can't see his nose in game. I can see the nose on his sprite though. His nose looks pretty normal to me actually in a lot of the gameplay.
Actually, yeah. Maybe maybe it's just how they zoom into it in some of his supers in the new game. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
they zoom into his nose because he smells victory.
Yeah. And like shit because he hasn't been based in like 20 years.
No one has. It's feudal Japan, man.
Yeah.
Okay, boy. Oh, this reminds me. Sam's show. Speaking of, let's just skip straight to the question I know that we've both got an answer for. If you could take any character out of KOF 14, who would it be?
Ruru.
Nakaruru. She's Japan. A Japan character.
I mean,
Isn't she like
the thing with Nekoruru for me is that like if it was like Bridget, well,
yeah.
at least she's fun to play. I'd be more keen to actually like be fine with her, but she's not. She's like, I just find her really lame. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, Bridget's also a little bit different because Bridget cracks me up as a character because the whole thing is like he wants people to stop treating him like a woman, but he still cross dresses. And it's not like ever implied that he likes cross dressing or that he continues to cross dress for some reason. No, he's just cross dresses because he's always cross dressed, but it still pisses him off that people treat him like a woman.
It's all he knows.
I guess so. Right, Nakaruru is just tiny Japanese priestess girl.
Not even that. Because if she were a priestess, then she could use like magic or some shit. Like I mean like more magic or some shit. Actual well applied magic instead of instead of being like she's small nature ninja girl. Like similarly, just so we can draw a comparison. I watched a video on the Last Blade 2 because I needed to refresh what I remembered about the game, and I watched the video and there's this priestess girl character, and her whole thing is being a priestess, and she is built around that. She does magic shit, and she can still fight close up, but she fights close up with the prayer stick that the priests actually had and shit like that. Ruru doesn't have that.
Okay, well, I mean, God forbid they do something interesting with the character.
I don't know if I'd,
I mean,
I don't know if I'd call Ruru interesting.
the bird is the most interesting part of her. What if the next game
we have Rera. We have Rera. We have Ruru's sister who also gets a. Actually, never mind. Ruru's sister also gets a dog. I think.
What if the next game we just do like that special edition? We get rid of Nakaruru and it's just the bird.
Sure, I honestly prefer it. No, dude. For to represent Sam's show, Mama Haha freaking teams up with Poppy.
And people just get fucking flashbacks to Pet Shop being super OP in that one JoJo game.
Yeah.
The PTSD just kicks in.
I mean, they could do interesting shit with that though, because like it would basically be a soft tag. tech characters, so they could make it so like the animals have half a health bar, and you need to beat both of them. There's some interesting design decisions to be made with that. I'm not necessarily saying that they're good design decisions, but interesting ones.
Oh man. All right, KOF 14.
we, we
So
we only spent like freaking 10 minutes talking about anything other than it.
it's a podcast intro right there. It gets you off to a rolling start. So KOF 14, how long have you played this game for?
Couple, I don't know. Like I played for a bit when I initially got it. That's like I don't know 2 weeks. And I've played it in the past 2 or 3 weeks as well, so it's about a month, I guess.
All right, so not much more than I've played it.
No, because anytime I looked at it, I was like, well, I could play KOF 14, or I could play a game with characters I like. And now that I've actually played through with everyone, I actually like most of the characters in KOF 14. But
Oh yeah, it's got a good cast. I'm not huge on some of the characters. Like, I've got the problem of like I wouldn't have this problem if I didn't play 2002. But there's a lot of characters who lost moves that they picked up in 2002, and it bugs me playing that sometimes. But like Yuri kept all of her stuff, so I guess my main out of the classic cast is fine.
meanwhile, my main out of the classic cast is dead. So
Oh yeah, no, not anymore.
that's not anymore. But he's dead during this game.
Yeah. And 15, he is definitely going to be the final boss, isn't he?
Yeah, I I hope we get Shirugal with the freaking Satsunomaru and everything. Like imagine if they make a 15 and it's a like build up towards CVS 3.
Well, fuck Tekken Cross Street Fighter. I'd much rather have that. Especially considering that Harada has out and out said we are avoiding working on Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, it's a perfectly fair reason why he's avoiding working on Tekken Cross Street Fighter, but it's disheartening, you know?
yeah. I mean, at the very least, I appreciate that Harada is being upfront about it, though.
Yeah.
Because some other devs would just be like, "Well, it's getting worked on," but it's really not. But it's getting worked on. Just have hopes, fans. At least Harada comes out and says, "No, we don't want to. We don't want it to impact the sales of Tekken 7. So it's just on the in the freezer until then." At least that way, I can hold Akuma hostage.
Because Capcom's not going to be doing anything with Akuma for the next couple of years, because apparently Ono screwed the pooch, so...
Yeah. So basically, Harada is holding Akuma hostage for the betterment of everyone.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if SNK is doing the build-up, it would probably actually be freaking SVC Chaos 2.
Oh, no.
They could make it good this time.
They could. It wasn't terrible the first time. It just wasn't as good as CVS 2.
Yeah. But I mean, things have changed. SNK's graphical fidelity is about on par with Capcom now because they regressed a lot with the 3D.
Yeah.
And mechanics-wise, mechanics.
Yeah. I mean, I think KOF has made mechanical advancements. They added EX moves.
No, that was in '98 too, dude.
That was not in '98.
It was. I'm pretty sure when I watched like freaking top level play, then they were using EX moves, or at least the EX meter. I'm not sure about EX moves, but they had the meter that you need to
Oh yeah, that's always been there. The EX mode has always been there, but EX moves was a new thing of 13. I want to say.
I don't think it was 13. I think it like because I remember like the usual EX get up with the moves like the flashing and all that being in like one of the older 2D games. Like it might have been like one of the like
Oh,
Hmm.
when you're in EX mode in the older games, you're flashing all the time.
Ah, shit. So
I
I
think
might
back
just be remembering that.
I think back in those days, the only point of EX mode was that it gave you access to the level 3 versions of your supers.
Ah, all right, then
And
it's
in
then they're new, I guess, because I don't freaking remember for sure.
I do find it odd though that when you're in super and EX mode in 14, you still have to do the EX mode inputs of pressing both punches at the same time or pressing both kicks at the same time.
I actually appreciate it because if you ask me, it opens up more possibilities for mix-ups.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely makes sense with a lot of the moves that are supposed to be mix-ups or cross-ups, yeah.
My only complaint about the EX mode is that it runs out way too fast.
Uh,
But I mean, that's just balance.
that's KOF in general, honestly. Okay, so, we can both agree on who the worst character on the roster is. Since Nakaruru is basically cheating, second worst character on the roster.
Hmm. Um, I'm split between going with Athena just because of Salt, and same with Paula just because she's Belle Delphine. Like neither of them are freaking like bad gameplay wise. It's just like characters I would rather not.
I don't know, I think my appreciation of Sylvie has increased since I figured that out.
But yeah, but you bought like 5 bottles of bathwater.
Oh yeah, that's everyone knows me. I'm the what's it? Simp. Simp, yes, the ultimate.
I wasn't going to say that, but sure. No, I think people who gave money for female streamers for no reason are called pigs now or something like that because a lot of female streamers who do nothing but just be female to get money, they started acting like dominatrixes.
Well, I'd rather have that honestly over what Delphine chick's pushing.
Yeah, I can't disagree. At least they're providing entertainment, if nothing else.
Yeah. Uh, it's fun making fun of other people's fetishes. One of the hardest time. It's still one of the hardest laughs I've ever had was with that fucking supposed leak tape of Tessa Blancard, which I still assume was bullshit. Well, it was definitely some kind of shit. And I did tell you guys about what the person who was pretending to be Tessa Blancard says during that tape, right?
I think so, but I don't
Uh,
remember. But
well, they make sounds that are obviously just her dropping stuff in water,
all
right?
right, yeah. I remember now. Shit,
And then
literally.
she and then she says, "I hope you pay me for more soon. I shit a lot."
please pre-order KOF 15 so you can support Simi Polo. She shits a lot.
Oh fuck!
Uh,
I'm reminded of she posted on that's Belle Delphine posted on like her Twitter once, like something of like, oh, what would you do if you found me in your fridge? And it was a picture of her sitting inside a fridge, and someone like took a gif of that, and then a gif of a dude taking his fridge and hucking it out his apartment window down like 30 stories.
uh, I mean, honestly, the thing with Belle Delphine is that like I make fun of her for the Badwater shit because it like I make fun of the people who bought it, rather, not her,
Yeah.
because she made a business decision that worked out for her. But
I mean, from a business perspective, I respect the hustle, but
yeah, but then like I can mostly escape her. I don't actually see her all that much, aside from when people shit on her for doing the Ahayago face, which yeah.
Kill me. I no longer wish to be in this world.
But I mean,
Be to the next one.
the reason we even made the freaking the connection between Belle Delphine and Siri Apollo is because she also does the Ahayago face.
Oh, I know.
I wish she didn't, because SNK did not make it look. I mean,
it's a bit on the nose, isn't it?
yeah.
Admittedly, I'm honestly kind of fine with it because Sylvie's supposed to be a fucking crazy psychopath, but still.
I mean, there are many ways you could have conveyed that it is not the Ahayago face.
True.
Like the only way
Well,
the only way they could have made her worse is if they gave her tentacle powers.
Well, she's almost certainly going to get those. I would laugh my fucking ass off if she did. See, you look at that face she's making, and you expect she's trying to catch something, something a little dirty. But no, it turns out she's actually just trying to catch her opponent's blood.
But no, the thing with that I'm actually
now it's a vor thing. Oh God, kill me!
I'm actually not sure, but from what I gather, the Ahago face is more about faces characters make when taking it up the ass.
Oh. Oh. I thought it was a thing about sticking the tongue out. Okay, I see. I understand now. I get it. I don't. Okay, I see.
So who's the?
There's a mechanic in Bloodborne where you gain.
But you take it up the ass and then you make a weird face.
There's a mechanic in Bloodborne where you gain insight. You gain knowledge about the world. But for every bit of insight you gain, you take more damage from seeing things that you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Oh,
bloody hell. So who's the worst character in your opinion?
Not Sylvia or Athena, honestly. I don't care for Athena's character, but I like her gameplay well enough that I don't mind. Oh, shit. I don't. I think there are one too many wacky old men in this game. I think having both Tung Fu at the same time as you have the drunk old man who's with Athena, I think is they kind of cross over in terms of character archetypes.
I don't know, because they even have a thing if they meet where they act like the old kung fu movie masters. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. If anything, I wish instead of Ruru we got Coffee Nicotine, even though he's been super dead.
Super dead. I mean, if there's any character in Sam Show that would be able to time travel, it's fucking Ruru, so...
Yeah. Wait, no, there are gods in that game!
Oh, right, yeah, I guess so.
There's Enja and Suija. They don't even need to time travel, they're just there.
They can't bring Enja or Suija in, because their fatalities are too hardcore.
Yeah. No, that's Sogetsu. Sogetsu's fatality was the best in the game, I think. In 5.
Where he, explodes them and it rains blood?
Yes.
Oh, well, even Nakaruru still had a pretty brutal fatality. Doesn't she cut her opponent in half down the waist?
No.
Oh, she just slits their throat, right?
No. Ruru's fatality is her grab in this game.
What?
Yeah, Ruru's fatality is tackling them and then stabbing them in the heart. And that's it.
Oh, right. I thought that one was kind of brutal too, honestly. Because I don't know, there's something more brutal about her having to tackle them first and wrestle them to the ground before stabbing them in the heart. Yeah.
I mean, they use it well to tell a story about the character and with advanced character development. So at least there's that. It's not. I wouldn't say it's particularly brutal, but it's good at showing that Ruru doesn't want to kill people.
And yet she will kill them anyways.
Yeah.
She will ice a motherfucker if she has to.
No, that's her sister.
Oh yeah.
Freaking small, like 7-year old a female Sub-Zero.
Who also doesn't she actually have like a Sub-Zero fatality where she freezes the opponent and then breaks them into little pieces?
No, well, I'm not sure about the new game, but in Five Special, her fatality is big hammer, and then she makes a large hammer out of ice, and then just hits the enemy off screen.
Ah, okay. Oh boy, it's weird to remember that Sam Show even has fatalities.
Yeah,
Like, they're not even really any good for the majority of characters, so it's just weird to think about. So, in KOF, out of the new members of the cast, who is your favorite?
probably Alice.
Oh, the Terry fangirl?
I thought she was Terry's girlfriend, but that's really muddy because
I
it could be Blue Mary, it could be Terry's wife, it could be Alice, and I don't know anymore.
I think it's supposed to be Blue Mary. They always get joined together in the same way that they join together Rio and King. I mean,
I don't remember if Blue Mary has a freaking special interaction with Terry at all.
oh, she almost certainly does. I feel like I remember that. Shit. I mean, it's definitely not as set in stone as Andy and Mai or Rio and King. So we
Yeah.
know that.
Even with Rio and King, they at least in this game, they're like they're acting like it's not a thing. Like
Right, because it's supposed to be later in the timeline.
I'm not sure, but in the interactions, King acts like she wants to get together with Rio, and Rio is stupid.
Of course he is. With Japan, that's no guarantee they aren't together, Eddie.
True.
Phew. My favorite new addition to the cast is uh, mm, maybe Nelson. Honestly, I like Nelson a lot. Uh, all right. Okay, I'm gonna ask the most obvious question of all time. If there is one character you think is missing from this roster, who is he?
Obviously, Violent Ken.
Yeah, this game just needed that big blonde poofy afro.
Yes.
Okay, it's Rugal Bernstein
Yeah.
for both of us. He's an all-time classic fighting game
it,
character, and he's not been seen since 2002.
but like honestly, since Geese is in the game anyway, and Rugal is back from the dead. But I mean, if they once they kill him in the next game, in the game after, they should just make freaking like Nightmare Rugal and just
I
put
mean,
him in.
Rugal came back for 2002 despite having been dead for 4 years at that point,
I
so
mean, wasn't 2002 a dream match though?
it was, yeah, but I mean, they can still just keep doing dream matches.
That's true.
And I mean, it's fitting enough when dream matches get Nightmare Rugal, so I mean, Nightmare Geese, yes, Nightmare Geese, God. I don't think they can make Nightmare Rugal because it's stepping in Nightmare Geese's territory.
Dark Rugal.
Speaking of what is the lore explanation behind Nightmare Geese, anyways? Is he supposed to, like, be an undead geese? Is he just
It's
Geese's super form? Is he actually just Terry's nightmares?
actually just Terry's nightmares.
Oh, okay. Huh. I would imagine Terry's nightmares about geese would be him falling, but okay.
No, he doesn't regret that.
No, the murder part, that's cool. That's cool. R.I.P. Geese Howard, you deserved it, you fucking shit lord. Take that.
It's the assassination scene from Assassin's Creed 2 where Ezio just keeps calling the guy names while he's beating him up, even though he's dead.
Yeah.
But instead of just beating him with normal punches, Terry is doing freaking Rising Taku to Geese's body.
Rising tackle. Like, it's like those old fighting games where you could keep comboing the body after the KO screen hits. So you
Yeah,
have to try and keep it juggled.
Yeah. You
Uh,
mean the only way to easily beat Gil in like freaking the first version of Street Fighter 3?
yeah. Okay. Now, what is okay? This is I'm not going to be able to answer this question myself because I haven't been paying any attention at all to the stages in this game. Best stage.
Hmm. Bloody hell! I even freaking remembered one, but I forgot it. There is. I like Gisa's stage.
Oh, do you fight at the top of Howard Tower?
I think so. Or at least one of the stages looked like it.
I remember there being one similar. Yes, yes, I remember that.
So yeah, I guess that's my favorite stage because most of them are pretty forgettable.
I'll go with the only answer I can remember, which is King of Dinosaurs stage, the wrestling ring in Mexico with the crowd cheering all around.
Ah yeah.
I'm also fond of the truck stop, though it's a bit too similar to DJ's stage from Street Fighter. Which DJ always has that fucking stage, doesn't he? Every game
I
DJ's
don't
in.
remember what his stage was into.
It's a little Jamaican pub, I think. And it's been that one in every game.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, did you play through the story mode?
Yes, I played through the story mode with every team. I have all of the endings.
Okay. How was it?
It was okay. I mean, the setup, like, I wish we had the old Tekken thing of having a bit of backstory so people can get up to speed with the story. But aside from that, and I also wish that the special interactions between the characters weren't. Well, I wish they were implemented better. Is what I'm trying to say. But other than that, I'd say it was alright. I liked it for the most part.
All right. Out of the moveset changes to characters that are returning, which is your favorite new move that a character has picked up?
I'm not sure. I don't remember which new moves characters picked up.
I can provide an answer that I think you would be fine. Let me go ahead and say the one that I think it should be for you.
Yeah.
Yuri picking up the demon flip.
Oh, that's a new move.
Yeah, I don't, she didn't have that in 13. I don't believe
Ah,
she definitely did not have it before 13.
then yeah, that I guess.
All right.
Because I only
Next,
remember moves that got taken out because
yeah,
Kim exists, but
Kim's real bad about it. I feel like Rio and Robert are back to being just copies of each other, but replace punch with kick. Maybe I'm wrong there. Who else was really bad about it? I oh, is Kyo back to his 2002 variation?
no, Kyo is Rekka.
Rekka, that's
Kyo is oops all Rekka.
right. It's his 98 variation, but with more combo options.
Yeah, which I'm fine with because I'm more used to that one anyway.
Yeah, I mean, pre 98 Kyo is just Iori, so
Oh, the freaking the one that bothers me the most is I forget the name of it, but the knee attack that Terry does that got removed.
Power Dunk.
Yeah, the power dunk.
Oh,
I
he doesn't have Power Dunk in this game, does he?
no that's only on Ellis thing, and I don't like it because I don't use the shoulder charge enough for me to be fine with it replacing power dunk.
It's the trouble with every KOF game outside of 98 and 2002 is that they keep either giving him the Rising Taku or the Power Dunk, but not both. He should always have both. Like, I mean, I am seriously used to using Rising Taku as the anti-air and Power Dunk as a combo tool.
Yeah,
So if I get deprived of either one, I'm in trouble. And he should always have the shoulder charge too. Like I think Terry is one of the KOF characters whose his moveset should just be set in stone by now, right?
yeah,
Like Power Wave, Burn Knuckle, Rising Taku, Power Dunk, Cherche, and that's it. You know.
yeah.
And his two supers should be Power Geyser and Are You Okay? Buster Wolf. That's the name, Buster Wolf.
Oh, you forgot?
I like that have it memorized as Are You Okay?
Yeah, I mean that's what he yells.
True.
You usually can't hear Buster Wolf over the explosions.
Yeah.
All right, I have a new I have a new Terry super to pitch.
Okay.
So level 3 super,
Okay.
Super Rising Taku.
Ooh.
It puts a tornado around Terry.
See, the trouble is, I think that's been Kensu's super for a long time.
Kensu sucks. It doesn't matter. Replace him with Shingo anyway. I mean, it seems like freaking SNK wants to choose between the two, and I'd rather have Shingo, honestly.
Yeah. I'd rather have both.
I mean, yeah, obviously, having more characters on the roster would be preferable, but if I have to choose, then I will choose Shingo.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not similar gameplay wise at all, but like their visuals are so similar that it's easy to get them confused.
Yeah. On a similar note, remove Kyo and put in Saishu.
He's not coming back ever. That
No,
one I know.
he's super dead, isn't he?
If he were dead, he'd have a better chance of coming back.
Maybe. I don't know. I remember in like freaking 97 or one of those. Might have been the story of 98. I forget. He does get knocked out pretty bad, so might have died. I'm not sure.
I would think that if Saizu's dead, Kyo would be more hung up about it.
Nah.
I mean, admittedly, he was never there for him, but still. I think it's just that the old dads are kind of out of focus. Because Saizu and Takuma both aren't here, and Hydern was DLC, so
Yeah.
at least Hydern's there. When are we going to get a KOF game where Hydern just wears his trench coat the entire time?
CVS3 is
Yeah.
he's one of the bosses that you can fight against, and the intro animation is always
Trench coat Hydern?
yeah. And
Regular Hydern is playable. Trench coat Hydern, secret final boss.
yeah, and his intro animation is him fighting Bison, who is also in a coat. He's also in the cape, and they're only fighting with their legs.
That's the team you have to fight.
Yeah. No, who's another like freaking code character? Chrysalid?
Gil, but he never takes off his robe.
Yes.
You have not yet been touched by divine power, or whatever it is he said.
Gil, but he's reached ascension, so all of his moves are replaced with Aegis Reflector.
Or fucking Orochi full screen supers.
I mean, yeah, but then at least Aegis Reflector could be fought.
Oh yeah. He just every button puts down a new Aegis Reflector.
But yeah, I'm imagining like he can put Aegis Reflectors in any of the like freaking 5 directions around him. So he can put one in front, in the back, diagonally, or on the top of himself. But he can only have
he eventually just gets it set up so that you're just nonstop bouncing between 2 Aegis Reflectors.
Yeah, but he can only have out like 2 at most at a time.
Now that I think about it, Urian would be super fucking scary if they ever put him in a Capcom vs SNK game. Just because giving him the dodge roll would make it way easier for him to set up
no.
Aegis Reflectors on either side of you.
Yeah.
That'd be super fucking scary.
Yeah.
You are now the man in the box. Rub your nose in shit.
Urian does a roundhouse kick. You bounce off of one of the Aegis Reflectors, then you bounce off of the other. This goes on for another half a minute.
Yeah. That bit from the Simpsons movie where Homer's just literally getting smacked between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
I love Urian. All right. You know, now that I think about it, favorite KOF super. In
Hmm.
14. It's in 14.
Ah, that's in 14.
For me personally, I'd have to go with the Galactica Phantom.
Shangoku's Phoenix Flatner.
Ooh, okay, that's a pretty good one. Maiden Masher's a classic.
Yeah, Made a Measure is a classic. I wish they made a 3-bar version of it instead of the shitty move that we got for Iori.
Oh, the version where he turns into Orochi at the end. Yeah, that one's a classic.
He doesn't even turn into Orochi at the end. He's just like, oh, Orochi powers, and then does like a cut with his freaking fingernails, and that's the move.
Oh, I'm thinking of the old games where the level 3 version, he actually his hair would turn purple and his eyes would turn red, and he
Oh,
would.
you mean the Maiden Masher? Yeah, if they put that into the game, I would be fine with freaking Iori's supers. But
Yeah.
in 14, his level 3 is this shitty ass move where he slightly feels the Orochi power or something, and then he just cuts the enemy with his fingernails, which is one of his normals, I'm pretty sure, and that's the move.
I think that was powerless Iori's super in KOF 13, where he
Hmm.
called upon the last fragment of Orochi that was still inside him that Ash hadn't stolen yet.
Ah,
Speaking of Orochi, I'm also fond of Leona. Doesn't Leona? I can't exactly remember. Doesn't Orochi Leona have a super where legitimately she just screams, rushes at the enemy, explodes?
I don't remember, but I feel like I remember a move like that, but I couldn't land it when we were playing 98.
Yeah. I am a big fan. I'm always a big fan of like the Orochi Leona sprite though. When she turns into it and just starts going ape shit.
I am a big fan of Orochi Leona's run speed.
Yeah.
Like the
Not run
I don't
speed, it's a fucking teleport.
yeah, I don't find many characters scary. I don't find many fighting games characters scary. Orochi Leona is freaking scary. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like Orochi Leona is probably scarier than Orochi.
Oh yeah, because regular Orochi is shit once you actually get past his zoning.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're missing out on one big, really good super. I mean, the pretzel has kind of lost its appeal now that it's not on a pretzel, honestly.
Yeah, that and there's no bells and whistles to it anymore. Like it's just the old Super, and there's no special version of it that looks like you know. There's no cinematic version. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Instead, we got the bloody hell, something called a rave. I always forget the name.
Oh god, the rave, which I can never do properly.
I can do it with rock. I'm not sure about geese. I feel like I've done it with geese a couple of times too.
Yeah,
Deadly
there's a
rave,
reason
deadly
why.
rave. That's the name.
Deadly rave. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a reason why when I play geese in older games, I take my chances with the pretzel.
yeah. It's deadly rave for geese and neo deadly rave for rock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah,
Which this is only the second game in SNK's history where you could have geese and rock fight, right? The first being CVS 2.
I think so. And they are building up towards a thing between them, like they did in that game. Only I don't believe Rock knows that Geese is his father yet in this timeline.
Does Geese know that Rock's his kid?
I'm not sure.
It probably wouldn't make a difference to him, honestly.
Probably not.
I love how much of a shit Geese is. He's just an awful person. Oh
And
man,
also a projectile, depending on
you know what
context. Yeah,
my problem with KOF is?
yeah,
There's too many characters that I love.
yeah,
Like with Street Fighter, I can definitively say, "Oh, just make a roster of these 20 characters, leave out the rest, and I'll be happy for the rest of time." Whereas KOF, I can't fit all the characters I love of KOF into one roster.
yeah.
Yeah.
With Street Fighter, I'm like, well, have a good Akuma, and then I don't give a shit who else is in the game because I just want to play Akuma.
Eh.
Like you know, if my other characters are in, then that's fine. Like if Adon is in the game, or if Street Fighter 4 Jury is in the game, or something like that. Like I can appreciate it, and I might play them when I'm freaking fed up with Akuma. But like at the end of the day, with Street Fighter, all I want from Street Fighter is just a fun Akuma. In KOF, I want Kim, I want Rugal, I want Saishu, I want Shingo, I want Terry, I want the list goes
Yeah.
on.
Like, I was just thinking, like, oh man, I wish 14 had Krauser and Mr. Big, but now it's like, who would I even remove from the game other than Nakaruru?
I mean, most of the other world team could be removed probably, especially since Love Heart is not even an SNK character anymore. I think, I think they sold her.
I like Loveheart though. She was
I like
cool.
I like Love Heart. She's she's legitimately just May if May was Ino.
Yeah.
But like I'm fine with Love Heart. Love Heart is probably the character I like the most out of the other world team. But like Mui is fine as well. It's really not Ruru that's bad. But if any character would have to be removed from or any team would have to be removed from the roster to add more actual KOF characters, then I would probably remove the other world team.
Yeah. Yeah, that they probably would be the first to go. Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about Shun'ei?
Not my cup of tea. Not a particularly interesting protagonist, and that's about it. I honestly would prefer Meitin to be the protagonist.
Ha! I look at Shun'ei and I'm like, this design is trying too hard, but I like that he's got like. It seems like he's actually got a new setup with his moves, which is hands, but still, it's something new and different from what someone else has done before in KOF. You know.
Yeah,
Where I love Ash Crimson with all my heart. He's one of my favorite KOF characters. But gameplay wise, the motherfucker is just Guile. Like
uh,
he is just Guile.
I'd
Uh,
comment, but I never actually played Ash, so
well, don't worry. Have you ever played Guile?
yes.
Congrats, you've played Ash.
All
Well,
right.
I think in either 11 or 13, he picked up a move where he could quarter circle forward to plant pretty well a land mine somewhere on the map. So
Testament
Guile
Guile.
with a trap. I was about to say Guile is a trap character, but that works on too many levels for Ash,
Yes,
honestly.
that's true. That's too true.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think you know that Ash is Guile because of that famous meme that goes around the fighting game communities of like the one where traffic is being held up in Times Square because Guile and Ash are both charging together. And it just says the third day there has been no movement. And it's their
Yeah.
sprites crouching and looking at each other.
That just reminded me of that. I don't know why. I kind of know why, but anyway, it's kind of off topic, I suppose. But it reminded me of the one Sam Show 7 tournament that Wooly was commentating on, where people were trying to play footsies and shit, so it was slower gameplay, and then we just see both of the characters stop. And Wooly and the other commentator are hyping it up like, "Oh, this is mind games. They're gonna go at it now. Whoever makes the first move might be great and shit like that." And then we hear freaking a USB plugged in sound from a PC, and it turns out that one of the players' controller disconnected.
Yeah, I remember that. Wooly always gets himself stuck to weird fighting game moments. He always does.
Yeah. I don't know, like I don't want to shit on Sam Show 7 because I haven't given it a proper try yet. The demo felt like Sam Show 2 to me, which I mean I prefer Fight Special personally, but like it does have Kazuki, and I do technically own Kazuki because I have the season pass. So
Yeah.
so I actually have to give it a chance, but I did find that very very funny.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm reminded of when Wooly actually got to Street Fighter Force Evo,
And got killed
and
by Daigo.
yeah, in the very first match because they got matching seats. And Wooly was so hyped because Daigo was his idol, and Daigo just wiped the fucking floor with him. I love it.
I mean, honestly, that's probably the best thing that could have happened out of
Yeah,
that.
if I could lose to anybody, I'd lose to Daigo, but
Hell, I'd lose to Daigo in Tekken.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like saying if I could be in one, if I could get my ass kicked in one boxing match, I'd love to get my ass kicked by Mike Tyson.
yeah.
Uh,
Very,
okay.
very remember with KOF 14.
If you could change one of the gameplay systems in KOF 14, how would you change it?
Good question.
I would bring back EX Supers.
Maybe. Yeah.
That isn't a game. Let me be honest. That wasn't a gameplay change. That's just I like looking at the prettier versions of the supers.
Yeah. That's what I also wouldn't mind. Although I'm not like. I don't know if I should say this because I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I wouldn't mind other crack on the assist system. Even if it.
That would be
Yeah.
That would be interesting, but I would like for them to have an option to turn it off in the settings menu.
Yes. Yes,
Just in
definitely.
case it turns out grossly imbalanced. Like when Mortal Kombat added
Oh,
it,
I
as
know,
well.
I know what I would change.
What's that?
Stylish mode and technical mode. Add those in. Split the two apart.
Okay. I mean, KOF just has a combo button, so
Yeah, that's my issue. That's my issue because I want to have a light punch button, but I can't because it's the auto combo button. So I would prefer if they made stylish mode for people who are trying to ease themselves into the game, and I could just play on technical.
I forgot this game had auto combos on jab. I thought we were talking about the actual auto combo button that has been there in every KOF.
There's an auto combo button.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
It's been there on every console KOF game. Left bumper or L1.
I legitimately did not know that. Huh.
Even going back to 98, pressing that button will cause the character to do an auto combo. A complete auto combo off of one button press.
Huh.
I actually think it's kind of neat because when I go into practice mode, I'll do that first to see what the character's what the character's bread and butter looks like. Because it's usually the B and B.
Yeah, I just figure that shit out. Make my own stuff up.
Right. Like, I mean, for me, the KOF combo system isn't the most intuitive. At least I'm just not used to it yet, maybe. So for me, it's helpful, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the in normals, it's not the most intuitive to me either. With some of the characters doing EX specials makes it a lot easier to get into. Namely, Rock Howard.
Yeah. And then there's some characters who are just string machines, and that's their entire idea, like Angel and Nelson.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate that division. I like that division a lot. I can't play Angel to save my life, but I like her. You know what? I've been calling her Angel this entire time, but she's Mexican, so her name is actually probably Angel. Angel.
She's in hell.
In hell. Fitting considering her demon outfit, yeah.
Yeah.
Excessive amounts of boob tape.
I mean, if Morrigan's there, someone has to do it.
True. I appreciate that a lot of characters got classic costumes, but for Angel, they were just like, oh, boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, they could have gave Rio a Mr. Karate outfit, damn it. Or hell, they could have gone with old Rio, where he's got the black gi and the beard. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Ah.
They could have gave Kim his 98 look.
Heh. How do you feel about the game's neutral?
I prefer it to Street Fighter. I feel like
Fair enough.
I feel like the dodge button adds a lot of movement to the game, even though it's still grounded.
It does, but you also have to know that it's kind of cheating to say you like it better than Street Fighter, because Street Fighter 5's neutral is not that good.
I mean, I'm not comparing it to 5. But like I went in and played a couple of rounds of Alpha 3, I think. I also played a bit of Third Strike. I played whatchamacallit, Uniclear? I want to call it Unist again. I played a couple of other fighting games to compare it to, and every time I was like, the dodge button in KOF is a blessing and a curse at the same time, because in other game you get used to it and you start getting more offensive and more aggressive and just start getting up on people's faces because you're just like, well, if I can time it right, they can't hit me. I mean, they might still grab me, but they can't hit me. So and that is detrimental in other games because I just I kept running up to people and eating shit because I'm like, oh right, no dodge button.
Well, if you're playing Abel in Street Fighter 4,
No,
don't play Abel in Street Fighter 4.
I was about to say no, nobody should play Abel for any reason, but
Yeah, they could make him good in 5 or 6, but they won't.
nah,
Okay, what do you think of the game's combo system?
it is a lot more forgiving than 98. That's for
Yes.
sure. Also, a lot more focused on juggles and shit like that, which I appreciate because I like well what's the freaking word I'm looking for? I like it when it's well implemented into the game and it doesn't feel like that's the only way you can do combos, but it's one of the ways. Because
Yeah.
even with Tekken, juggles is the way you're supposed to get combos, but you can at low levels anyway. You can still do normal strings and shit like that and chip people out.
Heh.
It's when you get to moderate and high levels that juggles become the only way to do things, which I'm not the biggest fan of either.
Heh.
And then you have Akuma. But anyway, yeah, like I feel similarly about this game. Like at low levels, you can do strings on the ground, you can do footsies, you can do juggles for combos, you can do all of that. But at high level, that's probably not. Well, actually, at high level, it's still somewhat the case. Because when people can do a juggle, they probably will go for it, but it's not the main source of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel about the game's visuals?
Could be worse.
Could be worse, definitely. Well, I didn't understand the whole hullabaloo at the very beginning. It's by no means is it a pretty game, but like it's not
It's
drop dead hideous like everybody was acting like.
it's serviceable. The only character whose any part is hideous to me is Shunei. That's not even technically the character. It's the hands he summons. They look very bad. The
Oh
effects,
yeah.
like because most of the effects in the game I actually really like. I think they look pretty good. And then there's Shunei's arms, and they
Ah,
they look bad.
I mean, it doesn't help that they're so fucking big, and I'm sure they didn't make the textures actually big enough for how big it was supposed to be.
Hon-
Because I
hon-
mean,
hon- honest,
versus
honest,
little
honestly, they kind of look like they're not textured at all.
versus little hands are much smaller, so
Yeah.
it's less noticeable with them. Okay,
Oh god, you're right. Both the protagonist and the freaking antagonist have hands.
yeah, it's it's a classic trope of give the villain the same powers as the hero, but evil.
But yeah, but I didn't think of it until now.
I mean, versus not coming back, so you don't have to worry about ever seeing it again. So,
True. I mean that I'm also I just don't think of Shunei as the protagonist. I see Kyo or Iori or freaking even Terry as the protagonists of this. Even Kadesh, which I know that they've been the protagonists of the other story arcs, but like that Shunei just doesn't have that design to me.
to me, he's got like the most anime protagonist design.
But that's the thing, he doesn't fit in.
No, he doesn't.
I was like even Ash had yeah.
Everyone else is designed with '90s anime aesthetics, and Shunei is designed with 2010s anime aesthetics.
Yeah. I wish that he either get redesigned to be 90s aesthetics as well, or for him to be replaced because I don't know. I just like he just doesn't.
I would be
He just
cool if I would be cool if they changed his hair a little and he dropped the headphones.
Yeah, I don't know. But mostly, yeah. If the hair was changed, the headphones, and I don't remember if it was the jacket that bothered me so much, or if it was like the belt or whatever. But yeah,
I mean, the jacket cape is a classic for Japan saying a character is a punk.
yeah, true.
I'm also really fond of a really small little touch, which is that Shuna Ai's got one pant leg all the way down, but the other one is bundled up just above the knee.
That's what
I don't know
bothers
why.
me. You're right.
I don't know. I really like the what's it called? How he's got a I don't know. I like it personally. I think it lends some character to an otherwise generic design.
eh.
I I can't remember anyone else on his. Oh right, the sleepy
JTG.
kid and the sleepy kid and Tung Fu. Those are his teammates.
Yeah, Maiten and Tong Fu.
And how long's it been since Tung Fu was in a KOF game?
I don't freaking know.
Has he ever been in a KOF game before?
Yes.
I know he's not. I know he's not a new character because he was definitely in Art of Fighting or Fatal Fury. But I could have. He may have been in like 11. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure Dunk has been in a KOF before, but I'm not sure which one.
I'll look it up. Speaking of which, is there any character from an SNK franchise that has not been in a KOF game yet, and you want him to be in a KOF game?
Setsuna.
Setsuna.
Yeah.
Jog my memory.
Oh, one of the characters from the Last Blade 2. He is the edgiest character I've ever seen this side of freaking Nest bosses.
Ah, okay.
Either him or
I
I forget the name, but there's this one guy in Last Blade 2 as well who could fit better just because he doesn't actually use a weapon. He's this like kung fu dude who summons fire. He could also fit in.
All right. Okay, so I have looked it up. This is the first time Tung Fu has been available by default.
Ah,
On the on the PlayStation 2 version of King of Fighters 11, he was unlockable. He was in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum though.
so that's what I was thinking of.
Otherwise, he's pretty much just traditionally been in the background of every China stage in every game.
Ah, yeah.
All right. I would be happy to have. Can I'll throw this in. I'd love to have Bijane back. Partly just because she's one of the only characters I'm actually decent with. I would like to not suck, please. All right. KOF 14 is a pretty fucking good fighting game.
Yeah.
Oh, trust in SNK to just do the same thing they've always been doing for the last 20 years when everybody else is kind of getting lost trying to find the modern.
Yeah. Once again, like my biggest pet peeve with the game is just that there's no separate stylish and technical modes. But other than that, the game's fine. The graphics are okay. The story is also okay. I appreciate that KOF, but everybody is sucking NetherRealm's dick and trying to freaking make Desco grade ripoffs of their story modes. I appreciate that KOF still tries to tell a full story through arcade endings.
The upside of SNK is that they haven't moved forward. The downside of SNK is that they haven't moved forward.
I don't know, because in some of their design decisions they haven't moved forward, but also they're like one of the best guys about putting rollback into old games. So
True,
but
but
it's not
that's
them,
because
it's
they keep
Code
hiring the
Mystics.
same. Yeah, that's Code Mystics. All right. So, that's about the extent of what I can think to bring up.
Hmm. Did you ever check out the gallery mode?
I never did, no.
It is full of your old illustrations, basically, that you unlock for every match you do.
Oh man, classic KOF art.
Yeah. There's even shit. There's even shit like the cover for KOF 98 UM and stuff like that without the logo.
Oh, nice. Can I just say one of my favorite little things about CVS 2, even though this isn't a CVS 2 podcast? I love that in CVS 2, on the character select screen, all the Capcom characters are done up by the SNK artist, and all the SNK characters are done up by the Capcom artist. I like that as a little trade there, you know?
Yeah, I feel like most of the freaking the Akuma art that I like it was made by SNK.
Alright. Think we could probably call that a podcast?
Yeah.
Fighting games were.